If you're a petite woman over 60, you've probably had this moment. You put on an outfit that looked beautiful on the hanger, step in front of the mirror, and somehow, you look shorter than you expected. Your legs seem to disappear. A jacket overwhelms your frame. A perfectly lovely skirt suddenly feels heavy. The surprising part? Your height is rarely the real problem. Very often, it comes down to a few small details. Where your waistline sits, where a hem ends, how a jacket frames your body, and whether your shoes continue the line of your legs or visually cut it off. And no, the solution isn't wearing high heels every day or dressing in head-to-toe black. Today, I'm sharing 7 wardrobe pieces that can beautifully enhance a petite figure after 60. Chosen and styled correctly, they can help you look taller, more balanced, and effortlessly elegant, without sacrificing comfort or your personal style. If there is one pair of pants that deserves a permanent place in a petite woman's wardrobe after 60, it is the high-waisted straight-leg pant. And the reason is simple. This combination works beautifully with your natural proportions instead of fighting against them. The higher waistline visually lifts the point where your legs begin. Almost instantly, the lower half of your body appears longer. Then the straight cut continues that clean line from the hips toward the feet, without adding unnecessary width or volume. Together, these two details create a silhouette that feels taller, more balanced, and wonderfully polished. But here is where many women accidentally lose that beautiful effect: the hem. Pants that are too long and gather in heavy folds around the shoes can make the legs appear shorter. For petite women, tailoring is not an unnecessary luxury. It can completely change how a pair of pants looks on your body. You have 2 particularly flattering length options. The first is a hem that finishes just above the ankle. This creates a clean, light, slightly modern appearance. The second is a longer hem that gently touches the top of your shoe without bunching or pooling on the floor. This gives you a more classic, elegant line. Fabric matters too. For a refined look, tailored wool and crepe offer enough structure while still draping beautifully. On warmer days, linen and cotton can feel lighter and more relaxed, while maintaining a sophisticated shape. In cooler weather, a fine corduroy or soft wool blend fabric can add warmth without overwhelming a petite frame. And when it comes to color, you have more choices than you might think. Black, navy, beige, and white are timeless, because they are easy to coordinate and help create a clean visual line. But don't be afraid of sophisticated earthy shades like olive green or burgundy. They add personality while still feeling elegant and versatile. The secret is not simply buying petite pants. Look at the waist, the width of the leg, and especially the hem. When those 3 details work together, a simple pair of straight-leg pants can quietly transform your entire silhouette. There is a reason the cinched midi dress continues to look elegant decade after decade. For petite women over 60, it does something especially important. It gives the body definition without requiring a tight or uncomfortable fit. The secret is the waist. When a dress gently defines your natural waist, it gives the eye a clear sense of proportion. Your upper body looks balanced, your legs appear to begin higher, and the entire silhouette feels more elongated. The goal is not to squeeze the waist or create an exaggerated hourglass shape. A soft, intentional definition is often all you need. Length is equally important. A midi dress that falls just below the knee or around mid-calf can create a beautifully refined line. But on a petite frame, the exact stopping point matters. Too much fabric, or a hem that lands at an awkward place, can make the dress feel heavier than it should. One of the most flattering options is the wrap dress. Its crossover design naturally defines the waist, while the V neckline creates a vertical line through the upper body. Because the waist can often be adjusted, a wrap dress also gives you more control over the fit, without clinging too tightly. Another beautiful choice is a straight dress, styled with a matching belt. Notice the word matching. When the belt is close to the color of the dress, it defines your waist without creating a harsh horizontal break across the body. The visual line remains clean and continuous. And then there is the A-line midi dress with gentle waist definition. The slight flare adds movement, while softly skimming the hips and thighs. It is feminine, comfortable, and especially useful when you want shape without a fitted skirt. Choose fabrics with fluidity. Jersey can follow the body comfortably without gripping every curve, while cotton and viscose feel fresh and lightweight. The dress should move with you rather than stand stiffly away from your frame. For color, black, navy, and beige remain timeless choices, but rich red, emerald green, and cobalt blue can look equally sophisticated. If you love prints, look for vertical stripes, subtle geometric patterns, or smaller florals that add personality without overwhelming your proportions. A beautiful midi dress should never make you feel hidden beneath fabric. With the right waist definition, length, and movement, it can create one of the most graceful and naturally elongating silhouettes in your wardrobe. Sometimes the most powerful styling trick is also the simplest. Stop dividing your body into separate blocks of color. For petite women over 60, monochromatic dressing or wearing tonal shades from the same color family can create a beautifully long, uninterrupted visual line. Instead of the eyes stopping at the waist, then again at the hips, and once more at the shoes, it moves naturally from top to bottom. The result is a silhouette that appears taller, slimmer, and far more harmonious. Think about a white blouse worn with black pants. Both pieces may be lovely on their own, but the strong contrast creates a clear horizontal break through the middle of the body. Now imagine a navy blouse with navy trousers, or a soft beige knit paired with caramel pants. The eye sees continuity rather than separation. That does not mean every piece must be the exact same shade. In fact, tonal dressing can look even more sophisticated when you combine subtle variations of one color. Try cream with warm beige and camel. Pair charcoal with soft gray, or wear navy with a slightly lighter blue. The shades are different, but they still speak the same visual language. Classic colors such as black, gray, navy, and off-white are wonderful starting points because they feel timeless and refined. If you prefer warmer palettes, caramel, beige, brown, and rust can create a softer, modern elegance. And don't assume monochromatic dressing has to be neutral. Deep red, emerald green, cobalt blue, or rich purple can look striking from head to toe. Because the color remains visually connected, even a bold shade can maintain a sense of balance and sophistication. The real secret to preventing a one-color outfit from looking flat is texture. A tailored crepe jacket over a fine knit top creates subtle depth. A fluid dress paired with a structured coat in a similar shade adds contrast without breaking the body's vertical line. You can mix smooth fabrics, soft knits, and refine tailoring while keeping the color palette beautifully connected. Monochromatic dressing is not about hiding in one color. It is about creating visual flow. And for a petite frame, that uninterrupted flow can be one of the easiest ways to look taller, balanced, and effortlessly elegant. A blazer or coat can completely transform an outfit, but for a petite woman over 60, the wrong length can also completely change your proportions, and not always in the way you intended. The problem is rarely the blazer itself. It is usually the amount of fabric and where that fabric ends on your body. An oversized jacket that hangs far below the hips may look modern on the rack, but on a petite frame, it can easily overwhelm your stature. Instead of creating structure, it hides your natural shape, and when a long jacket covers too much of the upper leg, your legs can suddenly appear much shorter. This is why the right length matters so much. Blazers and shorter coats that finish around the hip, or just slightly below it, are often beautifully flattering. They give you the sophistication of a third piece, while still allowing the legs to remain visually present. The result feels more balanced, lighter, and naturally elongated. Fit is just as important. Look for a blazer that gently follows the body, rather than hanging like a box. A slightly cinched waist can subtly define your shape without feeling tight. You want structure, but you do not want stiffness or unnecessary bulk. a classic tailored blazer is one of the most reliable choices. Its clean lines create a polished silhouette that works beautifully with straight-leg pants, skirts, and dresses. If you prefer something more modern, a well-fitted double-breasted blazer can also be a wonderful option. The key is choosing one with controlled proportions. It should define the upper body and gently emphasize the waist rather than adding excessive width through the torso. Fabric plays an important role here. Cool wool, structured crepe, and refined fabric blends with a slight amount of stretch can hold their shape while still moving comfortably with the body. Avoid fabrics that are extremely thick or rigid if they create unnecessary volume around your frame. For maximum versatility, black, caramel, gray, and beige are timeless choices. Navy is equally elegant, while burgundy and moss green can add personality without making the outfit feel overwhelming. The right blazer should frame your body, not hide it. When the fit, length, and fabric are carefully chosen, that third piece can create structure, improve your proportions, and make even a simple outfit look beautifully refined. The midi skirt is one of those pieces that can look incredibly feminine and sophisticated on a petite woman over 60, but only when the proportions are working in your favor. And once again, length is where everything begins. For a petite frame, a midi skirt that finishes just below the knee, or at most, around mid-calf, is usually the most flattering choice. This length gives you the elegance of a midi, without allowing too much fabric to dominate your silhouette. When the skirt falls too low, or feels excessively heavy, the legs can appear shorter, and the entire outfit may lose its balance. The shape of the skirt matters just as much. A straight-cut midi creates a clean, uninterrupted line. A subtly flared skirt adds graceful movement without overwhelming the body. And a slightly fitted style can beautifully follow your natural shape while still maintaining an elegant appearance. What you want to be careful with is excessive volume. Very full skirts, heavy pleats, or bulky layers of fabric can add visual weight to the lower half of the body. On a petite frame, that extra volume may disrupt the long, fluid line we are trying to create. Now let's talk about shoes, because the wrong pair can completely change the effect of your midi skirt. Pointed toe pumps and delicate strappy sandals naturally draw the eye forward, helping the legs appear longer. If comfort is your priority, structured ballet flats and refined loafers can still look beautifully polished. During cooler months, ankle boots can work wonderfully when they are close in color to your skirt or tights. This reduces a harsh visual break around the ankle. Your choice of top is equally important. Fitted blouses, tailored shirts, and fine-knit sweaters help maintain a sleek, balanced silhouette. V-neck blouses and wrap-style tops create a vertical direction through the upper body, while a refined turtleneck can give the outfit a clean and sophisticated finish. Lightweight linen or viscose shirts are lovely for warmer days, and three-quarter sleeves can add elegance without making the upper body feel overwhelmed. For color, black, beige, caramel, and navy are timeless and versatile. Red, emerald green, and mustard can introduce personality while still feeling sophisticated. And if you enjoy patterns, vertical stripes, delicate polka dots, and subtle plaids are excellent choices because they add interest without visually dividing the silhouette. The midi skirt is not a difficult piece for petite women. It simply asks for balance. Get the length, shape, shoes, and top working together, and it can become one of the most graceful and versatile pieces in your wardrobe. Sometimes, you can get every part of an outfit right. The pants, the skirt, the proportions, even the color. And then one pair of shoes quietly shortens the entire silhouette. For petite women over 60, footwear is not just the finishing touch. It can influence how long your legs appear and how smoothly the eye moves from your clothing all the way to the floor. One of the simplest and most effective choices is a nude-colored shoe. The idea is not to find one universal shade called nude. The goal is to choose a color that blends as closely as possible with your own skin tone. When there is less contrast between your leg and your shoe, the eye sees a more continuous line. Your foot becomes a natural extension of the leg, rather than a separate block of color. The effect may seem subtle, but visually, it can make a remarkable difference. The second powerful option is the pointed toe shoe. A pointed shape naturally directs the eye forward, visually extending the foot and creating the impression of a longer line through the leg. By comparison, a very rounded or visually heavy toe can make the foot appear shorter and may interrupt that elongating effect. And here's the good news. You do not need to live in high heels. A pointed toe ballet flat can provide comfort, while still maintaining that elegant, lengthening line. Slingbacks are another beautiful choice, because their refined shape feels lighter on the foot. A sleek, pointed loafer can also work wonderfully for women who prefer a more structured and practical shoe. If you enjoy a little extra height, choose a medium heel or a slim, refined heel, rather than assuming that higher is always better. The goal is to complement your proportions while allowing you to walk comfortably and confidently. Also pay attention to visual weight. Very bulky shoes can pull the eye downward and make a delicate petite frame feel unbalanced. Instead, look for footwear with cleaner lines and shapes that work in harmony with the rest of your outfit. The right shoe should not fight with your legs. It should continue their line. Whether you choose a skin tone pump, a pointed ballet flat, an elegant slingback, or a refined loafer, that small detail at the bottom of your outfit can help the entire silhouette appear longer, lighter, and beautifully balanced. Many petite women avoid long coats for one very understandable reason. They are afraid all that fabric will overwhelm their frame and make them look even shorter. But a long coat is not automatically the problem. The way you style it can completely change the effect. One of the simplest tricks is to wear the coat open whenever the weather allows. An open coat creates a strong vertical line down the center of the body. Instead of seeing one large block of fabric, the eye follows that narrow opening from the neckline toward the legs. This helps the silhouette appear longer and prevents the coat from feeling excessively heavy. Of course, on very cold days, leaving your coat open may not be practical. This is where thoughtful layering becomes important. Choose thermal tops, fine wool knits, or cashmere sweaters that provide warmth without adding unnecessary bulk. A warm scarf can protect the neckline and add dimension to the outfit, but try to keep the rest of your layers relatively streamlined. Too many thick pieces underneath a long coat can quickly overwhelm a petite frame. Length also deserves careful attention. Coats that finish just below the hips or around the knee are often the easiest options for petite women, because they maintain a balanced relationship between the upper and lower body. If you prefer a genuinely longer coat, you can still wear one beautifully. The key is to use the rest of the outfit to restore visual length. Pointed toe footwear is especially useful here. A refined pointed flat, sleek boot, or elegant heel draws the eye forward and helps extend the line of the legs. A little additional height can also balance the visual weight of a longer coat, but comfort should always remain a priority. Another powerful styling strategy is monochromatic or tonal dressing. When the clothing underneath your coat stays within the same color family, and especially when the coat also relates to that palette, the eye sees a smoother, more continuous flow. There are fewer abrupt color breaks to divide the body into shorter sections. Black, navy, gray, and beige are timeless choices for creating this effect. But a long coat does not have to disappear into the background. Burgundy, emerald green, and deep red can look beautifully sophisticated when the rest of the outfit maintains a sense of color harmony. So if you are petite, do not automatically walk past the long coats in a store. Pay attention to the length, keep your layers refined, use vertical lines, and create continuity through your colors and shoes. With the right proportions, a long coat can become one of the most elegant and confident pieces in your wardrobe. Looking taller and more balanced after 60 is not about changing your body or wishing for a few extra inches of height. Very often, it comes down to understanding how clothing guides the eye. A high waist can make the legs appear longer. A beautifully defined waist can restore balance to a dress. Monochromatic colors create visual continuity, while the right blazer length keeps your proportions from disappearing beneath fabric. A carefully chosen midi skirt, pointed toe shoe, or thoughtfully styled long coat can make a subtle but powerful difference. The most important thing to remember is that none of these pieces should feel like strict fashion rules. Think of them as tools. You can adapt them to your lifestyle, your comfort, and your own personal taste. Start with one piece already hanging in your wardrobe. Adjust the hem. Try a tonal color combination. Change the shoes. Wear your coat open, and look at the difference in the mirror. Sometimes, the smallest styling change creates the most beautiful result. Now, tell me in the comments, which of these 7 pieces do you already wear, and which one are you curious to try next? And if you enjoy elegant, practical style tips for women over 60, subscribe and join me for the next video. Until then, wear what makes you feel confident, polished, and completely yourself.